live stream. You can start talking whenever you like.
Yeah.
I like that it's like, this is about to be live streamed. Don't do anything
and
too
that's all
crazy.
that comes is on us talking about, glory holes or anal fissures or whatever. Hi, everyone.
Or dick confetti or whatever. Dick fetty.
Yeah, that's a thing. And we're actually going to be planning something for October with the dick glitter, but that's a whole nother. Hi, everyone. OG Spooky. OG Spooky. Obviously, we are very professional here. Original Guide to Spooky Empire. And before anything else, always, I finally got this written down, the disclaimer, but and I'm going to try to read it, but my son's handwriting is absolutely terrible, so this is going to be fun. All right, the OG Spooky Empire. The following is a disclaimer for the following webcast. And then he has an arrow. Why does he have an arrow? Welcome to OG Spooky, often imitated, not duplicated, unofficial, official, not your mama's spooky webcast. I like that. Put that on a t-shirt. We are not official Spooky Empire staff. We do not work for Spooky Empire. We are a collective of longtime Spooky Empire veterans who have attended the show for many, many years and are here to bring you the best of the perspective. We use adult language and often discuss subjects that some may find vulgar or offensive. Everything said on this webcast is based on our own opinion and own experience and not necessarily reflective of the opinion of Spooky Empire. So if something we say offends you, please don't go to PD and Gina, come to us and we can just tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
For all official Spooky Empire information, of course, spookyempire.com and affiliated social media. See, I got through that in one take. Aren't I good? Yes.
Good job, bro.
And for that, I drink. Yes. So Rob, how you doing? What are you drinking?
Well, hello, hi, I'm doing just fine. I'd also like to take a moment to say hello to Davey, Matt, Clyde, and Craig. Gents, how you doing?
Hi, Spooky fam.
Yep.
Hey.
And I am drinking a fabulous, this is raspberry lemonade with raspberry rum. So it's actually discontinued raspberry rum. So it's very rare.
Also maybe old.
It's shut up. But, that's what I'm having tonight.
Okay, just rum and Coke here, nice and simple. Scary Harry, wonderful to see you, sweetheart. What are you drinking?
I'm always drinking water. You know that. And
See, she's the smart one of the group.
Yeah, I'm always drinking water. I have my fancy, it's an MTV, can't see it. It's an MTV. Ooh.
Oh, that old school thing that used to play music, right?
Yeah. My MTV water, and that's what I'm always drinking. One of these days, I'm going to actually have something more interesting to drink, but yeah, I'm always drinking water.
That's because we're old, and this is what old people do,
right?
And it's interesting. In the notes, we have welcome back co-host emeritus Laura, and I didn't know what emeritus meant. So I thought, I was like, is that what she's calling herself now? Is that a new emeritus Laura? And I was completely confused until I had it explained to me. But Laura, those of you that are old school fans of the show, Laura used to be a host on here, but then she went off and had a fabulous life, as some people are lucky enough to do.
I got snakes and now I'm a snake mom. Apparently.
I love it.
I don't know what's happening.
Our new mascot.
Yes.
That's our lovely ball python and absolutely gorgeous.
I didn't know he was going to crawl in my hat, but I'm okay with this.
That's beautiful.
It's very fitting.
I'd ask what you're drinking, but you look kind of busy there.
Oh, well, I'm a big gin girl, as people know. I got this guy. Mermaid gin. It's really pretty. I honestly can't drink a lot these days. I get wicked migraines, so I try to buy like good stuff, and I'll have like maybe like one drink a week. So I figured Sunday night's perfect.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly a perfect way to wind up the weekend, in my opinion. And
yes.
Best way to prep for Monday.
Yes.
But normally we go through, I don't know if you guys, before we introduce our special guest, is there anything you guys are watching that you want to share? Some new horror, anything new that
Handmaid's Tale is horror, so yes.
I just started watching that, and I can't believe how close it's mirroring our current reality.
Yeah.
I didn't. I never read the book. I think I saw the original movie like way back in the day, and then they were doing series, and I said, oh, I'll have to get into that. It's been on my queue forever, and I said, well, let me take a look at it, and I just can't believe how scarily it is.
It is, and it's the acting's phenomenal. Everything about it, the way it's shot is just absolutely beautiful. But yeah, way too close to reality. Like that's what I consider like real horror.
No, you're not wrong.
Oh God, yeah, that's what I can't look away. It's
see, like, that's the whole thing with horror, though. I mean, horror is supposed to be like escapism for us. It's not supposed to be real life. That's the real horror. No, you're absolutely
glutton
right.
for punishment, right here.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I got her to watch Midsummer finally.
Yes. Oh God, I can't wait. I can't
absolutely.
wait to watch it again.
But I actually rewatched something this week as I saw it on Prime, but Jeepers Creepers 2. And I'd forgotten that Ray Weiss actually starred in that, who's actually someone we're going to be talking about later, who will be at Spooky. So I thought, completely forgot. Coincidence. Wonderful. But yeah, Jeepers Creepers 2, who was actually filmed in Florida. It's actually not a bad sequel. Number 3.
Part of Florida, like
so
Palatka or something?
Yeah, like way the fuck out and bumfuck somewhere. I know Mike, who also co-hosts, he knows where it is because he always tells us about the road it was filmed.
Laura, real quick, we did have a question on what your snake's name is.
Oh, well, I actually just adopted him. His name when I got him was Yuri. But I've been calling him like Mr. Bones because he has this little like bone design over his head, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But yeah, I've been calling him Mr. Bones.
Aww.
And he's a precious angel. I mean, Yuri sounds a little bit like urine and he's yellow. So I don't know. I mean, it was from an anime, I think, but which is super cute. And I still call him that sometimes, but I'm sure he's very confused. But actually they don't have ears, so he probably doesn't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, it's actually funny because speaking of Yuri, I know Rob and I were talking about something earlier with Stranger Things. Everyone's talking about Stranger Things and Eddie Munson and da-da-da-da and all this. But someone made this whole big thing about how Eddie Munson was in Game of Thrones. And it's like, okay, he was a Winterfell guard. He didn't even have a name. So was he even really in Game of Thrones? But more importantly, if y'all remember in Game of Thrones, Jaqen Hagar, who was, the man was a man with no name, something like that.
Yeah.
Like he starred in Stranger Things too. Let's not sleep on him.
Huh.
If it wasn't for him, Hopper and them wouldn't have gotten back to the States. So
honestly, if you step foot on a movie set, you're in that. I mean, if I'm in Northern Ireland filming Game of Thrones, I'm in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, don't take that away from me.
Exactly. No, and that's fine. Okay, he was a Winterfell guard, whatever, but it's like, okay, let's find Eddie Munson. We can talk about that, all day long.
Yeah.
But let's Jaqen Hagar, it's like he was pretty pivotal, so anyway. But yeah, and so that all being said, we do want to introduce our special guest, which we are very, very excited to have. CJ, wonderful to see you.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here. Excited to chat with you guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I am so excited. So we all saw that there's going to be the Central Florida Witches Ball at Spooky Empire. So what is the Central Florida Witches Ball?
Oh, did you see that? Was that something that you saw?
It's something I saw. Yeah, I
in passing.
Yeah, well, it was someone on Facebook shared it, and then honestly, I actually did see it before it was mentioned, and yeah, there was somebody had shared something about that, and I was like, oh, interesting.
It was the very first thing. I mean, okay, prior to the sweaty ween, summer ween, whatever we want to call the June show, we had this kind of the hint that Twin Peaks was going to be, a major theme for this show. But as soon as the convention ended, the first thing they posted on social media was the Central Florida Witches Ball.
Well, it wasn't even just that. I actually saw it from one of the artists at Spooky. One of the artists at Spooky that I follow, who I absolutely, Ash Schultz, who I absolutely love, actually posted about it. So I was just like, oh, interesting. And it piqued my interest. So,
well, it's funny, like Orlando or Central Florida really it's like a small, big town. It's like everybody that's
really
even slightly alternative knows each other. We have similar interests. So I think that's why it kind of kept popping up on the radar, is because like, I don't know how small it was starting out, but I don't know. I feel like we all found out about it.
Oh yeah. And then we all got very, very nosy and very curious. Yes, we're all just sitting here like,
why, yes.
Tell us more.
Well, so we last year was actually our official first year. We were going to do it a couple of years ago, and of course, COVID and the whole 9 yards. A little background from I worked Halloween Horror Nights for like 9 years, stage managing, show directing, as well as performing, and got really into it. I went out to California and I started doing some. I actually went out there specifically to do some haunted attractions out there.
Oh, nice.
And we did some Sundance, and then a very good friend of mine who I toured in theater with years ago was also at Universal at one point, and we reconnected, and her and I just started calling each other. And she has a company called Storytellers, and they do all the creative direction for the Central Florida Witches Ball.
Ooh.
Tea and Tarot Emporium is an events is the company my husband and I own, and we're basically the ones sort of producing the event in conjunction with PD, which sort of last year was outdoors. We did a bit, because it was still COVID, everything was going on, and I really wanted to do something different this year. And a friend, James Dillman, she does a lot of the hosting out at Spooky.
She's a big friend of the show. We adore her.
She's amazing. We love her. And she's the one that kind of connected me with PD because I really wanted to do something, different. And when I mentioned it to him, he's like, hell yeah, this sounds cool. Let's do it now. And of course, we've still working through all the details and stuff together through it, but he has a lot more on his plate than I do, dealing with this, because I know he has a team of like 3 people trying to put the whole thing together, and I totally give them kudos and love for that. There is on my team, we have quite a team. We have an event director, we have an art director, we have a creative directors, choreographers, we have a vendor manager. Like, we have a team that comes in and helps us really kind of put this thing, together so that it stays where we want it. And
I'm more professional than Petey.
Yeah, well, it's just,
he's gonna yell at me for that.
we started that. Well, that was one of the things he said, is like, just be patient, because there's only 3 of us. I said, I get it, I totally understand. And and we're having a really good time putting this together with them. So it's we're real excited about it. But we're going to be in the same hall as the VIP party will be Saturday night.
Okay.
But our big night is going to be Friday. So Friday is like the huge Witches Ball event. We're going to have our own set of vendors. And I want to clarify that our vendors are paying for their vendor spaces. But what we're doing is we're allowing on Friday from 1 to 6, we're going to have the doors open, and we'll have like Instagram sets in there. People can take pictures with, they can see the set for the evening. Ooh. But our vendors will be set up in there. And the Spooky Empire people will be able to go in and visit our vendors during that time frame as well. So we're just kind of allowing that to happen during that period. At 6 o'clock that night, we'll close the room down, and that's when we're going to prep everything for the show, and then reopen at 8 to do the show. So that's our really big night. Saturday night, they're doing the VIP party from 8 to 11 on Saturday evening. And right at 11 o'clock in the same room, we're going to do a cabaret style show with the same characters from the night before, but it'll be a different kind of concept, and something a little more fun and loosely based there. And then on Sunday, we're going to do the Saturday Song musical without all the dance breaks and stuff, and it'll just be done as a show. So that way, and it's going to be a matinee. We want to do early because we need to be able to break everything down and get the set down and all, so we can get out obviously at the end of the show. So that's kind of the layout for the weekend. In aspects of the Witches Ball itself, we are a separate ticketed event from Spooky Empire. So when you buy your tickets from Spooky Empire, if you do buy a VIP ticket, you will have free access to the cabaret show afterwards. If you don't buy a VIP ticket, then we will still sell cabaret tickets for like $20, and you can come in and still enjoy the cabaret at 11 o'clock when we reopen the doors. So there's that option, for everyone there.
That's another reason to buy VIP.
Right. Yes.
Woo! That's right. I'm throwing that in everybody's face.
Right. Now we're encouraging our vendors, because we're not going to have a ton of vendors. We're going to have like maybe 20 to 30 because the room is not huge, and we're trying to build a very kind of immersive little environment that evening. So we're encouraging a lot of our vendors to build like little facade fronts on their booths to look
cool.
sort of like a Halloween town, like little mausoleums or little
neat.
gates, whatever, to get creative. And we're gonna do an award for those best. And we're trying to figure out how we can have the guests vote for their favorite like vendor booth design. So that's something
cool.
we're kind of working on at the moment. But yeah, so I think it'll be pretty fun. It's going to be a great event, and we have a DJ who's going to be spinning gothic industrial style dance music that night. We are highly encouraging people to dress in costumes. We don't come in your jeans and your Iron Maiden t-shirt. This is a ball.
That took about half a spooky out.
Darn it.
Dress to impress as your witchy self, come in as a werewolf or a vampire, whatever supernatural thing you want to come in as. But, we want to see that in our environment.
Yeah, it is October and it is spooky. It is the appropriate season. So yes.
It's true.
Yes. And it helps with making it the more immersive environment as well. So, and the other thing too, is that we always, like last year when we walked around, if people were in certain colors, then they might have been associated with one of the witch covens. So like the air witch is purple, and the fire witch is red, and the earth witch is green. And so if people were walking around and they were like in green or they were in purple or whatever, then the character,
it's kind of like the Bloods and the Crips. It's like everyone has their own gang.
Exactly.
Kind of. Yes, but no.
I know.
They're all on the same team. Although there is a villain. We'll say that.
So there's,
it's fun.
CJ, if I can interrupt for a second. So,
sure.
One of the things I just want to kind of get across that I think this is kind of cool. There's like a story being woven in, through the show. This is actually more like a Renaissance festival in that respect, rather than a traditional, horror or any other kind of convention.
Right.
That sounds accurate?
Yes, that is correct. There is, I'll give you a little base on the storyline here. The High Council of Witches have come together this year to create, this has been going on for several years, but they've decided over the past couple of years to open things up to the Muggle world, so to speak, the mundanes, if you will. And there are 4 High Council witches that basically are our kind of magical magistrates, if you will. We have the 3 Furies,
like that term,
which is Master Mente, who is our Earth Witch. We have Laird Tamber, who is our Water Witch, and we have Baroness Alto, who is our Fire Witch, and they make up the 3 Furies. Then there's the Air Witch, Max Bromius, and he is the Supreme of Ceremonies. So he's sort of the I guess the host for the evening sort of thing. And they are bringing their apprentices or initiates in that evening to connect with their source of power for the first time, and they will have to enact the 7 wonders. A little coven shout out there.
Yeah, I was like, American Horror Story Coven, Stevie Nicks, yeah.
Right. And we have there is music. It's like we have rock and pop and all kinds of different styles of music in it. Dancing, there's fight sequences, there's effects and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
We have an aerial artist. And then we have the villain. I can't say much about that other than her name is Lady Saturday. And she has 2 minions called the Heckles. And they're a lot of fun. They are a male and female, but when they touch, they switch bodies. And that makes it very comedic and fun. They were a hit last year in the show. So we had to bring them back. But yeah, so we have an entire storyline built in a history for each of these characters. And so you'll get to experience some of that story throughout the night. And we have the performers, as they're walking around through the ball, even in between acts, interacting with the audience, you know, welcoming them
Much like a Renaissance
to
festival. I love this.
their world.
Yeah.
And of course, every year we build on that story. And if things work out well with Spooky this year, we're hoping to do things with them in June and October again, and continue the storyline moving through, you know, going forward. But it's going to be I think a more unique thing that we've probably haven't seen at Spooky, or if we have, it hasn't been anything like that in a while. And we're hoping that everyone will, you know, really get into the spirit of it and dress up and, you know, go to town. We have our DJ is DJ Necro. He's a necromancing sorcerer.
Love it.
That will be spinning all the gothic industrial sounds for the night, putting a spell on everyone. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But yes, the storyline just flows all weekend. The characters will be walking around in character, you know, even throughout Spooky, and entertaining people and, you know, keeping things live. So, you know, that's kind of the basis for the whole thing. But there's a lot more to it, but I don't want to give everything away.
Of course.
I just wanted to say, like, I think it's really cool that it's in the same realm. Like, the people that go to Spooky, I think, will be interested in it for the most part. But it sounds different enough to where it's not the same event. I know some years ago, what was that group that did the other horror convention at the same time?
Netherworld.
Yeah, Netherworld, which was great, but it was very similar in a way. And I think that this is like just different enough to really add something really special.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to show off a couple pictures from the previous years. So, you know, while you guys talk, I'm just gonna share my screen real quick.
I did have a quick question, because you did say you were going to have a number of different vendors. I mean, what kind of vendors can we expect?
Well, I am trying to avoid the same vendors Spooky has. I know we're going to have several pagan metaphysical style vendors there.
Sure.
You know, we've got some, obviously we're going to have some henna and tarot card readers that are going to be there so far. Our tea and tarot booth will be open, which my husband specializes in crystals. So there'll be tons of crystals everywhere. And he makes jewelry and all kinds of cool things with that sort of stuff. You know, but we're kind of looking for, you know, unique, like last year we had an apothecary that came out. We had someone who makes like musical instruments, like you know, wood pipes and drums and that sort of stuff.
Oh, so cool.
I think that's really what we're looking for, because I know there'll be plenty of people in there selling horror memorabilia and all that kind of stuff. We're kind of trying to make it look like our own little Diagon Alley, you know, selling wands and leather and
that's a great way to put it.
You know, cool pottery cauldron mugs and, you know, that kind of stuff.
You know, if I can interrupt with two things. First of all, I think if some, you know, enterprising entrepreneur out there wants to start a shop called Wands and Leather, I think you've got a hit right there. But we also have had a question in the chat. Where can we follow for more info outside of Spooky Empire? So just real quick, you know, any social medias you want to drop?
Yes, so we are, look up Central Florida Witches Ball. It's on Facebook. Instagram, we are CFL Witches Ball. We are also on TikTok. I will have to say we have not been hugely active yet, but we are starting.
We're addicts. Well, some of us are.
Yeah.
Harriet won't get on the train.
No.
We're slowly putting that part together this year. We were not as active on it last year, and we're going to try to get more active on it this year. Because we just haven't had a social media person per se that's been able to help us out with that. But we have a big photo shoot this week for the new poster design for this year. Ooh. And we're also going to be shooting a commercial this year, which we haven't done before, which will be fun. So we'll be premiering that as well.
Your photos from last year were beautiful. I just wanted to say.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I think I was out of town when it was happening, but it was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, we got a lot of compliments on that. We had a ton of people that wanted copies of the poster that we did last year. So we'll probably have some of those out there that we'll have the cast sign and, you know, be able to, you know, have available. But it's a really fun, interactive event is the goal. And we want it to be very very goth, very vampire, very witchy. I mean, we've done things in the past, storytellers and TN Tarot, like in New Orleans and like I said, out in California, and we've been able to harness a lot of those things into creating this event based on a lot of those events that we'd already been involved with. And we went. I don't know. Did you guys see the thing about Boozy Cauldron? That's
I
traveling
did.
around.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know
So-
anything about it until actually
course.
friends went but yeah.
It's liquor
Yeah, we
related, I
were-
knew.
I'd say
Yeah.
it's liquor based. Yeah, so yeah, we know about it.
It was we as a creative team went last night, and we were a little bit disappointed in that. So but it gave us ideas. So there's more things that we will be coming out with and involved with these characters, other than just that particular weekend of a witch's ball, that we'll be doing more things with as well. So yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. But those are our social media where they can follow us. They can also go to cflwitchesball.com, which is the website. And we try to keep that updated as much as we can. We'll be putting some more stuff up there very, very soon in regards to that. But unlike Spooky, they have a ton of announcements and all kinds of contracts they have to deal with.
Sure.
And we don't. We are self-contained.
Yeah, so you're focusing more on the experience. I get that.
Right.
Yeah, we have a real interesting question from Davey, and CJ, if you have anyone you can promote here, but I'll also throw it out to the other people on the panel. Davey was asking, is there any special shop to purchase attire for this event?
Ooh.
So if anyone has a recommendation, CJ, I'll turn to you first, just in case you maybe have a vendor in mind you can recommend. But if anyone else has a good place for this,
I actually do, but go ahead.
If you're in Orlando specifically, I have good connections with the Penguin Point costume shop over in Oviedo Mall, and they have a ton of costumes that are rentals, but they do a lot of commission work because they do have a shop that builds costumes in the back, and they've built all kinds of cosplay costumes and that sort of thing. So I would probably start there because they have a huge inventory, and they're always doing, they just did like a $1 sale where they just put everything out on these racks to reduce the inventory for $1.
Wow.
So I would definitely keep eyes over there on Penguin Point Costume Shop as well. Also, Ducky's Vintage Boutique is in there as well.
We love Ducky's.
And they have a lot of stuff that could be utilized to create some fun costumes too. So that would be the two on the top of my list. The other thing with Penguin Point Costume Shop is they do have wigs and stuff there, and like some makeup and things. So it might be a kind of a first only shop that you need to really go to if you're looking for something. But that's the ones I would suggest at the moment, but I'm sure there's others out there.
Yeah, that was the first one I was thinking of. Spooky Empire, that's Ravens and Rockers, which is like a goth alternative shop. They're in Tampa, so if you're in Tampa, Ravens and Rockers, and I think their stuff leans more towards the goth side of things and the alternative side of things. But little column A, little column B. I think Ravens and Rockers, some of their stuff is absolutely fantastic. So that's who I would recommend personally.
Oh yeah, and we want to see
shout
it. Boys,
out.
Put on your makeup and lipstick. Do it.
I want to give a shout out to Embellish FX in Orlando. They are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
They've got all sorts of costume stuff. Over the years, they've just improved with the quality. They have a ton of clothes, ton of hats, wigs. I've gotten so much stuff from there over the past decade. And they're such great people too.
So, Ben is fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah, Ben's
Christine.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So CJ, real quick, is the Witch's Ball thing? Is this gonna? Do you want to call? Is the weekend going to be called the Witch's Ball? You guys.
It is called Central Florida Witches Ball Weekend at Spooky Empire. So that's basically how it's being portrayed at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's how it'll remain for now. We are looking at some different things for next year already. Because that's just how we are. We start thinking ahead, way ahead.
Hey, if you're a creative, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because we want
no project is ever finished.
No.
Right. We just want to have the storyline be able to, kind of flow over. And so we want to be able to plan ahead so we know how to, throw some little teasers and things out, through the through the event. And you know, when you talk to some of these characters when they walk around, you know, they're going to have stories to tell about, you know, histories, but they may have completely different points of view. You know, the Heckles may be telling you how horrible the witches are because they're, you know, terrible people. But then you have the witches and the apprentices talking about how wonderful the world is and things like, you know, because they interact that way and they want to bring the people in with them and they want you to be part of that experience.
Yeah,
So,
and that was one of my big questions, because it's like when I thought Witches Ball, I mean, me personally, I was very much into the Anne Rice New Orleans circles in the 1990s, and I was just like, okay, so are we talking, was it Silver Ravenwolf or whoever it was, you know, that was the big thing back in the 90s, or we talking American Horror Story Coven witches? It's like I'm thinking all different variety of witches, and I'm just like, okay, which direction are we going in? Lorena McKennitt, you know, which, you know, Stevie Nicks, I wasn't sure, so I'm glad that you've clarified a lot of that. So it seems to be like all encompassing.
all of those can exist in this world. They are
Yeah, it
all
seems all encompassing, which is generally what pagan and witches are all about anyways. So.
Yeah. Are you gonna have like different local covens there are you gonna do
That's
like
a great question.
Class? Yeah, like any local covens, or you can do any kind of classes.
Yes.
I know Prometheus is doing like tarot classes.
Yes.
And, you know, the difference between pagan and Wiccan, and the difference between Earth Witch and Kitchen Witch and Fire Witch, etc. And I know I'm just kind of harkening back to like Hexfest, and is it going to be something like that here? Because I'm all about, you know, letting people know that, you know, being a witch is an actual thing, but a lot of people aren't really educated on that.
So I will tell you, last year I did shy away from doing the ritual. We are pagans that are putting the event on, but we wanted it to appeal to a mass audience.
Sure.
However, last year, one of the biggest complaints I had was that we did not do a ritual last year. So this year, we are going completely off the rockers, and we are doing a full theatrical ritual by a local group.
Awesome.
It's going to be done by our high priestess Michelle Orwick, and she is the queen of our dark fae court, and her dark fae court will be the ones performing the ritual before the main show starts in the evening. So you will be getting a ritual that night.
Bring a virgin, you get 10% discount. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not.
Very hard to find these days.
It's spooky. You'd be surprised.
Well, hold on. We had a really interesting question, and it applies, you know, to Witches Ball. It applies to spooky, but it's actually, this question is literally why this show began in the first place. So Jody, she asked, you know, she just brought this question up. Silly question for all of you. In the past, have you seen people go solo? I'm going to both Spooky Empire and the Witches Ball. Will I feel weird?
No.
Come hang out with us.
No.
No.
This is why we have done this. We say that a lot. This is our home. If you've never been to Spooky and you're going by yourself, you will have
none of us knew each other before Spooky.
Yeah, you will have a family experience. You become family, Spooky family.
Yeah. And that there's a reason that we say that. It's, you know, very often we'll talk about it on a future show,
for better or for worse.
No, but it is. It's like, if you go, just remember that you are there for the same reason other people are there, to enjoy a common interest. So you can strike up a conversation with a vendor, with someone behind you in line, whatever. That's what we've all done, whether you're sitting next to someone at a Q&A and you immediately strike up friendships, because we're all there to shun all the normalcy and mundaneness of the banal world and put our freak on. You know, that's why we're all there.
Yeah. You'll
please come up to us.
We'll and you have different levels. I thought I was a big horror fan. And the first year I went, I was blown away. These people, I was like, okay, these people are diehard horror fans. They know directors, they know actors from movies way, you know, back in the
history of the movie, the director's cut, you know, the gaffer boy's name, you know, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
And
not the best boy, not the gaffer boy.
Whatever. I see. That's what I mean.
And they collect all this stuff.
I don't know.
Like, okay, I found my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. We will, and I just kind of piggyback on that. We will have an information table out in front of our space the whole time. And both Katie and Dee, who are going to be running those tables, are absolutely amazing human beings. I love them both. And feel free to go up and introduce yourself to them, because they pretty much know everybody that's going to be involved with the event too, from our side, and we can make you feel more welcome too, because that's our entire goal. We want you to feel like you're part of this conclave of supernatural beings when you come into our space, and we want to feel like we know you, and we want you to feel like you know us. And you won't be able to miss the characters because they will be dressed accordingly. So ball gowns and all.
Ooh, ball gowns. Ooh. I you know what? I've been costuming for 20 years. I've got a costume closet, so I'm like, ooh, okay. So CJ,
I am trying to work out a costume contest this year too. We are trying to. I've got the contest for the for the vendors, but I want to do a costume one as well. So we're working on something for that too.
I may have ideas. So here's a question: if someone gets a one-day ticket, which day would you suggest that they go?
I would suggest they go Friday, because Friday is the big one. That ticket is only $40. And I will say last year it was $75, and we did have a VIP ticket for $125 last year.
Mm-hmm.
We are not doing that this year. I went down to a $40 ticket for everybody, to make it much cheaper than it was last year. And I think people will enjoy that quite a bit more. And then we're doing $20 for the cabaret, which is Saturday night, and $20
and free for VIPs.
Yes, for the cabaret, absolutely.
That's it for the cabaret. That sounds like for the cabaret.
Right, for the cabaret. And then $20 for the matinee show on Sunday. Now the 3-day ticket is $60. So we did take $20 off. So basically it's like if you buy Friday and Saturday, you get Sunday for free, kind of thing. Okay. So, but our most expensive ticket is only $60. And that includes all 3 of the events. But if you were only to buy for one, definitely Friday night is the one you want, because that's going to be the big one.
That's really.
It's still a great deal.
I have a silly question. Is there a ball, like a dance happening?
Yes, there will be there's a DJ that's going to be spinning. There'll be a dance floor.
Yeah. Okay.
And so the idea is when you first come in, the DJ will be spinning, and the characters will be walking around, vendors will be open, and that kind of thing. Then the Fey Court will do their thing on the stage. Then the Act 1 will happen, which is like 20 minutes or so. And then the DJ will spin again for a little while, and then it will go back to Act 2, and then the DJ spins Act 3.
Cool. Okay.
And then the DJ takes over after that for the rest of the event, with a big dance party all night.
Awesome.
So there'll be dancing and music going on in between the different acts of the show that will keep everything kind of flowing through the evening.
Very cool.
And that's Friday and Saturday.
That's Friday.
Friday.
Is just Saturday is just a cabaret style show with the characters, which is going to be fun as well. And it'll be different things that we do Saturday night that we didn't do Friday night.
No one ever says just a cabaret show. A cabaret show is never just a cabaret show.
Okay.
Just a simple little cabaret.
It is and it isn't, but I'll let you be the judge of how fabulous it actually will be.
That's really interesting.
I had another question, actually kind of related. Is it kid friendly? Can kids come? Is there stuff for kids, or?
We consider it PG-13, but I don't mind if kids come. I don't have a problem with it, as long as the parents understand that I will not be bowing to children and anything of that nature, because we are witches and we do what we do.
Y'all heard it here first.
Right. But I've done a lot of children's types of shows and family shows, but our Witches Ball is our Witches Ball. It's going to be a goth industrial Witches Ball. We are trying to lock in all the stuff with the bars and stuff now, because we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, that we're going to have signature drinks for each of the main characters in the show. Awesome. And once I know that for sure, I'll be posting those up on the site. Those will be fun. But it's going to be interesting because we're really creating an immersive experience with this, and we are hoping everybody really enjoys that aspect as they did last year, and they see that, you know, the story that we're following through, and the creative production team that's working on it, the writer, you know, is also going to be writing these into a series of books with these characters too. So I want to kind of put that out there, that might be coming as well. And we're also working on a gaming style deck, you know, of cards to as well. So when I say that we're trying to,
wow, okay,
we are trying to really brand this and really make it into a really cool experience moving forward. These are the dreams that we have, and we are really pushing towards that opportunity. So you will see more stuff coming up with these characters in the future. So it's kind of cool if you get on board now and ride the train with us, because it's going to be fun.
That's really cool though. I love that this is like, because I had no idea what to expect, but it's like Harriet and Laura both said it, this is really cool just because it's like, okay, this is kind of a crossover, and this is something, a natural venue for people that go to Spooky. This is something that really is completely up their alley, but something different from something they've never seen before. So
right.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be cool.
One other question we just had in the chat, and I already know the answer, but I'll go ahead and let me just throw it out there anyway. We were just asked by Davey if are tickets available at the door? Do you have to buy in advance? What is the ticketing situation?
Yes, so tickets will be available at the door. You'll be able to buy them there, you know, throughout the weekend for the different events. It goes up by about $5 on site. So if you're able to get them ahead of time, you can buy them ahead of time. Right now it's $40 for adults for Friday and $35 for kids. But if you try to buy them there, it's going to be $40 and $45, if that makes sense. So it just goes up by $5 when we are selling it on site.
Okay, wow. Now, Rob, you have something in the notes about a giveaway. What is this all about?
Well, CJ was very generous. He is offering for our page, our people who are watching,
OG Spooky
offering
fans,
a pair of weekend passes so that you can catch all of it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep this fairly simple. I don't like the social media games that get too crazy. So, and I'll go ahead and post this on our page later. But basically, everyone's going to earn just a couple different things to earn a point for a drawing. Next Sunday, I'll do a special show. If anyone wants to join on for whatnot, we'll do a special show for the drawing. But in order to get tickets, let me just pull up my notes. In order to get points into this raffle that we're going to do. First of all, I'm going to assume you've already liked our page. So guess what? That doesn't count.
If you haven't, then just you're fired.
Yeah, you're fired.
What the fuck? You're fired.
But first of all, if you're watching right now, if I have your name, if you've interacted, if you've clicked like, if you've said something, you just got entered into this contest. Congratulations. How freaking easy was that? You did good, kids.
Gold star.
Like the Central Florida Witches Ball Facebook page. If you've already done it, well, good for you. But yeah, if you do that, get another point. And then after the show tonight, we're going to make one more post promoting the giveaway, promoting the Witches Ball. If you like, comment, and share that for each of those actions, you'll get another point. So potentially you can get 5 points into this drawing. And again, as I said, next Sunday we will do it. Once we draw your name, we'll do it again live on a web stream. We'll send it over to CJ, and he'll take care of the rest. But for anyone who's interested, this is a fantastic way. And if you don't win, you know what? Get a ticket, because this is increasingly cool from everything I have learned about it.
This is far more cooler than I anticipated. Yeah.
Right. And I will say, if you are interested, oh yeah, thank you. And I will say this too, if you are interested in becoming a vendor spaces are selling out very fast right now. I've got, I think, 12 or 15 left spots out of the 30. So if you are interested, just go to CFL Witches Ball and click on the vendor space, and then fill out for that. And our vendors are only there for one day. It's going to be they'll be able to set up Thursday. and they'll be able to come in and run it 1 to 6 on Friday. They'll take their break and do dinner while we're setting everything for the event. They'll reopen 8 to 11ish or so, and then they'll be able to close out and load out Saturday night. So then they'll be clear for the rest of the weekend. So it's a great opportunity, and there's enough people that are going through Spooky that I think it'll be very much worthwhile to be part of the vendor group that we have. My husband is the one who is our vendor manager. His name is CJ Sugita-Jackson, and he is the one handling all of that. So if you have questions, feel free to send us a message through our Witches Ball Facebook page, and one of us will answer it for you, and he'll be able to let you know if that is a vendor that we have already, or you can just let us know what you're selling and we'll help figure things out for you. But we would love to have you. And I'll just throw this out there too. We're still looking for, a couple of volunteers to help out as well. So if you're not already volunteering for Spooky, because I don't want to take PD's people, I love him.
He'll cut you.
But,
See, the way he said that means he knows how PD is.
Right? No, that's funny. But we're having a good time with it. But I am looking for a couple of extra people to assist us for that weekend too, if you're not already doing something involved with Spooky too. But yeah, we're excited. It's going to be a really fun event, and I think there is a lot of staying power to keep it going moving forward, because it is unique, it is different, and the quality of performance that we bring. We hire all professional performers from the Orlando area. They're all paid to be part of the event. And they sing, they dance, they act, they do crazy sword fights and things. They, hang from the ceiling, whatever we need them to do. So I think you'll be really impressed with the caliber of performers that we're bringing to the event too. So.
But do they sit on webcasts with snakes crawling all over their head? I mean, because
there is a couple
like
of
Laura
them that probably would. I would not.
He was under my hat completely.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
I was trying not to make it super distracting, but he was like, "This is my new hide." It's
I love it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I can bring him to the Witches Ball just for entertainment. So
if it's allowed, that's actually really good, because I know the last time we were at the Hyatt, there was Robert Nasta, I think he tried bringing his snake and they said no, so the convention center might have different rules, and maybe it's a service snake, it's a service snake. It's trained. I don't know.
I've thought about that.
I have a seizure.
Honestly,
I have too much oxygen. He constricts the airways.
Well, no, but I mean, like they're not venomous. If you put them on the ground, they go like 1 mile an hour, if that. They're so lazy, it's not even funny. So
yeah, we'll
see.
That's awesome though. But yeah, that's really fantastic. I'm really excited and I look forward to this. And I'm just blown away here. I mean, because I was really surprised.
Too. This is so much more than I thought.
Exactly. It's a lot more than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be like, oh, okay, peek your head in 5 minutes. Oh, no. This is a whole immersive experience. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
we are too.
As they make updates, just like we cover everything Spooky does, we will cover, any other announcements that they have from now until the show. So
absolutely,
definitely, get the information from the professionals first, from the official source.
Yeah, yes. Still official source. Yes,
we're okay too.
Yeah, I would say, like, if there's any announcements you guys want to make, like, I mean, we have some time before this even happens, so let us know.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, I did speak to the High Council, and they are contemplating an opportunity to come on here before the event as the High Council of Witches. But we'll have to set up a few things before that happens, because
I know Baby's Blood is kind of in short stock right now. I know.
Yeah, and these witches have very specific needs, so we just have to make sure they're a high council, so
of course
we have to treat them accordingly.
Absolutely.
But it'll be fun. But you'll start seeing their pictures and stories going up very soon after this week, and you'll start to get to know those characters over the next few months with the postings we'll be doing. So when you get to the ball, you'll be able to talk to them about who they are. And
And you'll be like that creepy
that kind of
stalker.
thing.
Oh, I saw online that
Well, if you guys need any help
with.
with TikTok, I know a girl. She's right there. Or there.
I know no habla. I know no habla inglés.
She's a pro.
She don't know where else. I admit
This
I am
one.
obsessed with TikTok. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, TikTok is.
I'm just
my
saying
jam.
you could make some fun videos. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, TikTok is my
It's
jam.
true.
You know, speaking of TikTok, and if y'all aren't, if you're on TikTok, you got to be following him. We're the guest announcements for Spooky. Kyle MacLachlan is the big one.
Okay, I just
What
want
is
to,
this?
CJ, again, thank you for being on. I don't know if you can stay on for a while or okay. Excellent. Okay, just want to make sure we offered everybody an out. Again, if anyone else wants to leave, by all means, go.
Right,
I don't want to keep
Get
you
out.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
But
he's
I
not
may
seriously,
check
gonna
out in a
leave
little
alone.
bit, but I want to stay for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
No, we're happy to have you. Absolutely. But yeah,
yes.
Kyle MacLachlan was the big bombshell announcement after Sweaty Ween, as we're calling it, because it was definitely Sweaty Ween. Yeah. But I mean, and one of the things I love about TikTok is that it's not just like when celebrities are on social media, it's always like, oh, I'm doing this project or I'm promoting this charity but with TikTok, they're much more personal. If you look up Kyle MacLachlan's TikTok, it's fucking hilarious. It's like him in his garden with the captain's hat on doing a stupid dance or whatever. And it shows you that they're just complete dorks like the rest of us. And it's absolutely amazing. That makes me so friggin' happy. But Kyle MacLachlan, I mean, and here's the thing. Everyone's got a favorite Kyle MacLachlan character. I mean, yes, we all know about, was it Dale Cooper? Is that his name?
Agent Cooper. Agent Cooper.
Agent Cooper. Sorry, my bad. I'm not a Twin Peaks fan. Agent Cooper. And then, of course, we have How I Met Your Mother, who was probably Rob's favorite character, right?
I did enjoy his interpretation of the captain on How I Met Your Mother, but no, that's still not my favorite. Well, I'm not gonna say it's not my favorite role. My favorite movie of his is still Blue Velvet. That is, I'm a Lynch junkie, and Blue Velvet is just kind of, that's what brought me to the dance, so to speak.
Yeah.
I wrote papers and papers on that movie in college. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it.
A few years back at Spooky, and I know Harriet probably remembers, he actually dressed as Frank from Blue Velvet with the oxygen tank and everything. And so that was.
I'd also like to take a moment and say, screw Roger Ebert. He didn't understand the movie. His review is just like, dude, that right? Yeah, screw you. I mean, I know he's dead, and I don't want to talk poorly of the dead, but he really did not comprehend the movie.
Well, it's David Lynch. He's
Thank
not
you.
supposed to know. Yeah, it's David Lynch. I mean, you can't really appreciate David Lynch until you have multiple viewings of everything he does.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, me personally, and everyone's like, oh, no one wants to see him from Showgirls. I do. It's complete and utter cheese, sure, but I loved him in Showgirls. There, I said it. I don't care. And I know there's a bunch of people that love him in Dune. I know Dune is a huge, big thing for a number of people. That's going to be absolutely awesome. And I'm sure because that's Kyle MacLachlan, there will be no shortage of coffee and pie at Spooky.
That's true. That's very true.
That's good.
And then, of course, because it is the Twin Peaks reunion, we've got Ray Wise, who, like I said, Jeepers Creepers 2, I forgot that he starred in that. RoboCop, he was in Twin Peaks, the vice president in 24. And I'm missing something. What am I missing?
Well, Ray Wise is one of those guys. He's just a working actor.
Yeah, he's been in everything.
He just does, small
He's that
roles.
guy.
He's been doing them for 30, 40 years. So not always big, big pieces, but he's worked steadily. He's been in kind of everything. And we may have lost CJ.
I'm still here.
Okay. I like the profile photo. Yeah. But yeah, Ray Wise is a big one. Then, of course, we got Cheryl Lee, who is the infamous Laura Palmer. So I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of Laura Palmer cosplays running around. So that'll
be kind of
somebody has to walk up to a wrapped in plastic. That's all. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I've thought about it myself, but I'm not blonde and I'm not Laura Palmer. So I'll just
I
say
mean,
that.
we've got a blonde Laura, so
Yes.
you know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
All you have to do is just
You know,
paint
where's
your
Laura
skin
Palmer? Right there.
a little
Right
bluish,
there.
a little bluish, and then wrap yourself up in,
Saran
In
wrap. Yeah,
plastic,
whatever.
yeah, wrapped in plastic. Yep.
Yeah, just wrapping in plastic.
Make it
That's what it
happen.
was. That's she was dead, wrapped in
Yeah,
plastic.
exactly. It was just like, how often? Yeah, wrap it in plastic. Yeah, that's something a horror fan says a lot. A lot. Just wrap it in plastic.
it's who I'm kind of
Oh,
hoping they get, because they're doing the Twin Peaks thing. The dwarf that dances in the Red Room, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. More for his role in Carnival. I don't know if anyone saw the show Carnival.
No, I've
He
been
was
meaning
great.
to, but
I did, yeah.
It's a good show, but it'll piss you off because it was canceled after the second season when they right as it was really starting to heat up, and all the story is just gone. Although I don't think he's
that's why
gonna
I
make
didn't watch it actually, is because there was only like one season, I think.
There's two.
And-
There's two
Two.
seasons. It's
Yeah.
still
Oh, two,
the
okay.
first season and a half is still worth watching, or the first season's definitely worth watching. Second, up and down.
Okay,
I mean, you can definitely tell it's like, oh, budget
good to
cuts.
know.
But no, I mean, first season was great. But unfortunately, I heard the guy's gone kind of he's became like right-wing conservative psycho, and he's really bitter with David Lynch because he wasn't in the I guess the reboot, the return. So he might not be happy to.
Yeah,
show
no,
it.
Harry and I just say, yeah. Enough said. Yeah, I'm too good for, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
and then I'm gonna have to rewatch John Carpenter's Vampires because Charlie apparently was in that as well, and I don't remember her role in that. And
She was kind of the driving character of the plot. She was the woman who was turning. She was
that's
bitten,
okay.
and the whole movie is like they're tracking the head vampire
That's
through
right.
her.
Which I'm like, the movie sucked, but I mean the casting was
The movie
actually
was
pretty damn
horrible.
cool. The
Yeah.
head vampire in that was actually really cool. So, and then let's see, we have Kimmy Robertsall, Lucy from Twin Peaks, also in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, which I was surprised how many people remembered her more from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead as opposed to Twin Peaks. Those are the comments I saw. She also was in,
that's one of those, I know we kind of talked about it with earlier on your TikTok live about Hocus Pocus is kind of a generational movie. If you're
Yes.
of a certain age,
Mhm.
you probably saw Hocus Pocus, and you probably love Hocus Pocus.
I'm too
Don't
old
Tell
for it.
Mom the Babysitter's Dead's kind of in that same area. If
That's
you were
true.
of a certain age when that movie came out, I mean, teenage guys saw it because we all worship Christina Applegate.
Yeah.
There was a lot of reasons to watch that movie. I mean, it's not good, but a
Yeah.
lot of people saw it. Right up there.
Demonic Rose.
Right up there with some of Pauly Shore's movies.
Oh dear.
We've all seen Son-in-Law.
I just watched Encino Man for Brendan Fraser.
Fair. That's completely and utterly fair. No wheezing the juice. But
Yeah.
she was also in Tales from the Crypt and the Tick animated series. So
If you watch the Tick cartoon, she was Dot. She was Arthur's sister.
oh yeah. Okay. It's clicking now. I do think it's interesting that there is a Twin Peaks VIP bundle. Now, this is the first time we've seen Spooky do this. And first of all, I want to clarify, this is probably their management, not Spooky. Spooky doesn't set the prices for any of the celebrities or, their price points or the autographs, whatever. But this is the first time, and it's kind of like a MegaCon sort of thing. And I'm only saying that because they kind of do the same thing, but I don't want to compare Spooky and MegaCon in any connotation whatsoever. It is really interesting. There is the Twin Peaks VIP bundle, and these things are selling like crazy. And this is kind of like the new realm of conventions that we've seen. Let's see. Twin Peaks Special Twin Peaks VIP package contains all the perks of our regular VIP package with exclusive Twin Peaks items, including the Kyle MacLachlan autograph, Kyle MacLachlan solo photo, exclusive Twin Peaks themed items, the t-shirt, poster, and lanyard, priority seating for the Twin Peaks Q&A, but it does not include any of the Twin Peaks cast photo ops. So I'm not really sure. I have to look more into how that's going to land. But
they haven't announced any Twin Peaks big
Yeah, group
bundles.
photos yet.
Yeah, group. Yeah. So, but if one does happen, it is not connected with this. This special VIP bundle. They said it in their own chat that this is only for Kyle.
Yeah, and
also,
that's
they technically did do this once before. Heather just reminded us of this. They did it for X-Files.
oh yeah, okay. No, I stand
Yeah.
corrected. You're right. You're right. They did do it for X-Files.
It happened.
But this is a new trend that is coming, I guess, with a lot of these reunion casts that they're having VIP specials specifically for those characters. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I understand these are newer generations that are coming into the con circles now. So, things that we're used to aren't necessarily the norm now. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think?
I'm with you. It kind of rubs me the wrong way, but I kind of get it because conventions have become such a big thing. We all saw what happened with The Walking Dead, with AMC and The Walking Dead. They created their own convention out of it. It wasn't just enough that the stars of the show were showing up at other conventions. AMC took it and ran with it and made their own whole convention of just Walking Dead. So I get it because the popularity and because everybody wants to have a meet and greet. But do with it what you will. But I'm not personally a fan of it. I'll get my autographs on my own and piecemeal. But kind of separating everybody out, I don't know how fair that is, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. I get it for like the specific Q&As, and I know like for a while there were certain levels, and maybe this is something that'll happen next, but the levels of VIPs that they have, like I know there's like silver and platinum, and somewhere it's like, okay, this gets you special access to this panel, and this gets you special access to this. I mean, I don't know. I'm just old.
Paying extra for a panel. I know that they've done that for like Star Wars celebrations and San Diego Comic-Con and stuff like that. Paying, you're already paying an admission to go to the show, and then you have to pay a separate admission to go to an actual panel, whether it be, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, whatever. I get it. Yeah. They're huge.
Unfortunately, I think this is the norm now. That's the worst part.
That's what we're coming into.
It is the beast.
Yep.
Yeah, I noticed Laura's staying quiet on this.
No, I was actually looking at the notes. I was trying to see. I think I don't know if it cut out, but I think I missed what you were asking about. I'm so sorry.
Oh no,
I was looking through the notes real quick. I was like,
oh, the Twin Peaks VIP bundle, as opposed to
around.
like just the regular VIP bundle.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, there is
I mean, I saw that I thought it was kind of weird that the cast photo ops weren't included. I don't know. I guess like if you're gonna make a bundle, like make it all inclusive,
I'm assuming that's something to do with Kyle MacLachlan's management, not him and not Spooky, but his management. And that's usually where the fault comes to lie with stuff like this. So
there was something like that with the X-Files, because there was one, like David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson had like one thing going on. And then the rest of the X-Files guests who came, they actually came on their own dime. Basically, they go to any show that David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson go to. It's like their own thing, and it's it's how they make their money, and it works because it guarantees there's an X-Files fandom there. So I mean, it's you never quite know how it works. Frankly, I don't want to know how it works because the behind the scenes for these convention things are just
messy.
It gets so very messy,
it's convoluted. Let's just say, sometimes it's happier not seeing the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's interesting. It's a curious thing because I noticed that like these things are selling out like this. Because the thing is, we've been doing these conventions so long that we remember the days with $20 autographs where you'd sit and talk to a celebrity for an hour, and that just isn't the case anymore because these things have gone so mainstream. So I mean, things like Twin Peaks VIP bundles, if that's the option they're presented, they don't know that there was once another option because this is the standard now. So maybe this is just the way things are going. I don't know.
I blame the white man.
El Diablo Blanco. El Diablo Blanco.
For most things.
Yes. I was gonna say if Robbie was on here, the bruja of the group, the Diablo Blanco.
She
Always.
did pop in and she said hi to Laura.
Oh, hey.
Oh, she doesn't love the rest of us. Okay, I see. All right. That's what I say to that.
All right, but back to the other guests.
Yes,
She's,
no,
so
but we
used,
did have.
she's so used to you guys at this point.
I know we're just like furniture to her. It doesn't even. But we did do two other very, very big announcements. So October really is shaping up to be a huge, huge event. I mean, last year was like the biggest I've ever seen it. What of the show I did see, but I think this year is actually going to be around that because we got Christina Ricci, which is like, yeah, super excited about Christina Ricci, which I do want to mention this again. And even though it's probably going to fall on deaf ears, but I'm going to say it regardless. We know that she does not like to talk about or mention Black Snake Moan, regardless of what her reasons are. Respect that. There are certain things that she doesn't want to talk about. So don't ask her at the Q&A.
Let me interrupt about that. I agree. Definitely don't. It's like she had a bad experience filming it. I think she was led to believe certain things that weren't true. She didn't like how she was portrayed. There was like a lot of things.
Sure.
That,
and that's completely her prerogative. Yeah.
And it left a bad taste in her mouth. But it's just one of those things that I kind of like smack my head when I see it. Her bio, her introductory bio that they post along with the guest announcement, that's probably, I'm willing to say with 99% assurance, that's written by her or her management. Mm-hmm. It mentions Black Snake Moan on the bio. It's
in what aspect though? It's
just these are movies I've done, and it's like nothing. It's like you will know her from these films, and Kristen, fine, whatever. It's again, she doesn't want to talk about it, respect it, but this, keep in mind, this is somebody who's worked steadily since she was 9 years old.
Oh yeah,
her filmography is just—it's
not just Wednesday Addams. Yeah,
no, not even close. She's,
we go back to the 90s. We can go back to Casper. She was huge in Casper, and I think a lot of people tend to overlook that for whatever reason. What was the one she did? Was it Rules of Attraction? Was that it? What's the one I'm thinking?
Was it Mermaids?
No, it wasn't Mermaids.
Was the first one. That's the movie she did with Cher and Winona Ryder. That's Mermaids? When she was
it was so
little.
Cute.
Yeah.
But
she's
and Monster
doing big stuff. The Yellow Jackets that came out, I think that was on Amazon. That has a pretty big following.
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of people tend to forget about Monster and just how iconic she was in that,
Yeah, I forgot that she was in Monster. Yeah, I completely forgot about that one. That's the one which she was in Charlize Theron, where Charlize Theron played Eileen Wuornos. Mm-hmm. She played her girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's funny. She's got a great role. It's small, it's short, but in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, she pops up in that as the hitchhiker.
And I was thinking, I'm like, because I'm going to get something signed by her, and I wasn't sure what. But then I realized, and Harriet, you'll 200 Cigarettes.
Oh.
She was so ridiculous in that, so over the top, and Long Island. It's exactly. I'm like, okay, you know what? Just I think that's what I'm going to have her sign is 200 Cigarettes. And if y'all haven't seen it, that's going to be your new favorite New Year's Eve movie.
Yes, go out and find it. I don't know if you can even find it on YouTube. I found it. Yeah, I found it through a friend.
You might not. It's hard. It's not easily available.
No, I found it. Yeah, I found it through a friend, and he got it through somebody else. But yeah, that is.
Everybody's in that movie, from Ben Affleck to Dave Chappelle to Jay Moore to the Christina Ricci to
Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson. Yeah, it was so funny. I remember I went to the theater to see that. Kate Hudson was in it, and she kept reminding me of somebody, and I could not think of who it was, and she wasn't Kate Hudson at that time. And then when I went home and I looked it up, and I was like, oh, duh, of course. She looks and sounds just like her mom.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's amazing in it. And the movie's absolutely, and I'm trying to think of the one that passes out in the party dress.
Martha Plimpton.
That's it. Martha Plimpton. Yes.
Star of the Goonies.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So so I mean, sure, Christina Ricci's in Sleepy Hollow, but I mean, look at the other work that she's done as well.
And Heather just mentioned Lizzie Borden.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. She was in a TV, a short-lived series called, I think she was in Pan Am.
Pan Am. Yeah.
Right.
She also
great
did
show, too expensive. That's why
She
they
also
cut it. It was too
played,
expensive to make. They were trying to go for
Zelda
like a,
Fitzgerald, which
Yeah.
Really? No, I was listening to Laura.
oh sorry, yeah, she played it was called Z, the beginning of everything. She played Zelda Fitzgerald. She was phenomenal.
I'm so glad that she's coming back. That's absolutely awesome.
Alabama accent. Oh, so great.
Yeah.
and hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin. We're looking forward to you coming back in October, Justin. The other big one, and I'm actually really excited about this one, Danny Lloyd from The Shining.
Red rum, red rum.
I am looking, because here's the thing, the Hyatt, the hotel that we're staying in, looks like The Shining. It's a creepy hotel.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Well, it
I
doesn't
wanna
look
get
like the
him-
overlook, but it does. The interior has some areas where you're like, okay.
Very much so. I want to
that
get him
bar,
on a
for
big
instance.
wheel going down the hallway. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I need a big wheel and I need
If-
him to
if
ride the big
we-
wheel down the hallway.
If we bring the big wheel, he will come. We'll make this happen.
Yeah, that's gotta happen. We gotta catch him like
We can do
late at
this.
night when there's nobody in the hallway and just have him ride that thing down the middle of it.
Why don't we just get him a green machine instead?
No.
No, I like the
2
big
o'clock in the
wheel.
morning.
Yeah, it's like, no. It's got to be the big wheel because we have to be film accurate, number one. And any green machine it's going to be mine. No one's going to ride it but me. Green machine is mine.
Yeah, so I mean, Spooky
Childhood
definitely
trauma,
got good
anyway.
announcements this year. They've got and it's early. It's early. We'll see
Yeah,
what's
and
coming.
they have really just dropped some huge names right out of the gate. So that's wow. That's
I will
really
say the
fucking awesome.
chat is talking about. We've had a couple people mention Yellow Jackets, so or Yellow Jackets. So that's
Yeah. And it's like she's still doing like some really fantastic work. I mean, from the time, like Rob said, from the time she was 9 years old, she has had an extreme body of work. So
what I believe she was in a John Waters movie. Was she in Pecker?
Yes,
Okay, thought so.
I think so.
of course you would know.
I'm like 99% sure she was. She was on Buffalo.
Yeah, it was her.
66.
It was her and Edward Furlong.
Yes, Eddie Furlong, as we call him.
Eddie.
Yes, our
Eddie.
buddy. Okay.
Because we go way back.
We do. I went to rehab with him. So, actually, that's a lie. He hasn't gone to rehab.
He's hanging out with Bam Margera. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, damn it.
I know habla. I know.
Yeah.
But speaking of like the hotel and Shining Vibes, if you guys haven't caught it, go check our Facebook page. I don't know if we've actually put it on YouTube yet. Have we?
I've got clips. I still need to do that.
Okay, we still need to do that. But yeah, if you just go back, look through our videos, we actually did a live walkthrough of the Hyatt and the convention center. And we put some mileage on. So we got there's like actually 3 sky bridges that go from the Hyatt to the convention center.
It took us on the trip back at the very end. We found the one that's actually technically the closest
Mm-hmm.
to the hotel. So, but we would have cheated ourselves a lovely experience of walking through the convention center.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You get to walk the whole thing again, and we tell you about the Beeline Diner, the hours of the Beeline Diner, the market
Oh, that's
where,
right.
yeah.
The diner.
It's not good anymore. It's not good anymore.
I'm not listening to you.
No, seriously.
Maybe they've changed.
They're
They
only
did-
open till 10. It's not good at like
No,
1 o'clock.
stop it. Stop it.
No,
Can we email? Can we Yelp review them and like what can we
Look,
do?
I'm willing
Can we
to-
ask
I'm
for their
willing to try it
manager?
one more time because they still had some COVID hiccups when we were there last year. But I mean,
It's been
I
a
just-
while.
the
10?
French fries I got with my meal, I have licked salt blocks that were less salty than these French fries.
They're just doing that so when you drink water, you retain and you stay
See?
healthy, hydrated.
No, that little marketplace area that's open 24/7, and then
Yes.
right across from it is all that seating area. So that's
Yeah.
Yes,
will-
and
That's what they've
we
done.
do go
They're
through that in the video.
Why don't we start a petition to keep them open 24 hours while we're there?
Yeah,
Because
that's-
that's important
It's
for
it's
our
not unheard of. I
well-being.
mean, the Hyatt loves us, so it's not off the table.
I mean, yeah, they'd make so much money.
No,
Yeah, I
and
know.
Justin, they didn't have spooky hours last time. They basically what they have done is they want more people to use the marketplace. So now the marketplace has the extended hours and the Beeline is much shorter. I think it goes
No.
in like 10 now.
No. I disagree with all of it.
Okay. It's Laura's coming for you, Hyatt.
I am. I'm writing a letter to the manager right now.
But yeah, so basically, and for those of you that are like, whether you have costumes or you're a photographer, we put out a number of really good spots for photographs and group photo shoots and whatnot. Because it's like when we're not at the convention center, we pretty much have run of the Hyatt, which is not really a good idea to leave us unsupervised. But you know what? The Hyatt, it's their fault for inviting us. So
real quick, funny story for those of you who watch the videos that we do. There's always other conventions going on when just at any given time, because this is Orlando. At the Hyatt, they had it was like a deaf convention.
Yeah. American Sign Language convention.
It was sign language, but everyone there wasn't that.
Oh, I thought you said death, like TH, and I was like, well,
No,
that's
deaf
perfect.
was F, because at one point I had some people, they were trying to signal to a woman who had walked by, but they can't yell at her because she can't hear. So I had to, try to steer her around to get her to look, turn around and look at them.
Wait. With your arm, what is on your arm?
Oh, by the way, this is this gross?
What
This is
hell?
a hematoma. Be careful giving plasma. This is actually the best it's looked in a week. It's like giant and purple, like an eggplant, but that's
Oh my God.
yeah.
See, he was supposed to make a sandwich and he
Wow.
didn't do it right. So
Yeah,
what
I
the
heard
five fingers
myself
say to
making
the
a
arm?
sandwich. No, I'm
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
anyway. So the Hyatt had the deaf convention, and the convention center had a bodybuilding convention. So
That was fun.
The tradition of just other whoa, that's a thing, or that's still going on. So
Yeah. So it was interesting being in the convention center and seeing all the swole people because they all walk like this. And and they actually legitimately do, and it was actually very, very funny. But yeah, there actually are 3 covered bridges that go from the Hyatt to the convention center. And if you watch the video, you'll see all of them. We go from the lobby all the way to the convention center in the Hyatt, where Spooky will probably have their after events, if they have any after events from the convention center. We show you where that is. We tell you all about the market. We show the menus, the pools, the cigar area, the whole 9. So if you haven't, take a little while. You've got between now and October to get the lay of the land. So check out the video and we show you everything.
And one other nice announcement that was made, Spooky has confirmed it, the parking
Yes.
at the Hyatt parking garage.
Mhm.
Parking will be $10 a night.
Oh,
That's
nice. Really affordable.
Well,
actually.
here's the
Very
thing.
affordable.
They've actually raised the prices. If you're just their standard, it's $30 a day.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say 30 is like minimum for anything out in that area.
That's
So,
insane
yeah.
now. $30 a day.
So
Well,
thank you,
that's
Spooky
normal.
Empire. Thank you, Petey, Gina, Kim, whoever did that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. But that is only for Hyatt overnight guests. If you're staying at the Hyatt, that's the rate. Otherwise, you're going to be paying basically $20 anywhere else, whether it's the convention center, whether it's Point Orlando, which is right nearby. You're basically going to be paying $20 a day,
Wow.
which isn't as bad. But if you're not staying at the hotel, that's what you can expect. So you might want to, budget that in.
Even
Yeah.
like Ubering from nearby would be more expensive than that. So
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, and that's something that, and then we'll be talking about it on subsequent shows, but that's something you definitely want to, especially if you're Ubering and whatnot. Trust me, stay at the hotel. Even if it's just you're doing one day, whatever, stay the night at the hotel because that's where everything's going to be happening.
You can stay on the floor in my room if you need a place. No, not really. Okay.
not with that arm. Not with that arm, Rob.
Yeah, I was like that you might wake up and that arm's going to be staring at you in your sleep.
Getting better, I promise.
Uh-huh.
Give a couple months. That is terrifying.
Oh God.
I shoved it in the face of my son the day after it happened, and he was possibly scarred for life.
Oh, I guess we lost CJ.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. We have lost him.
Officially.
Officially. Okay.
Oh wait.
Oh,
No.
yes. Okay.
Actually, great timing. Get CJ if you're available, because I think we're about to wrap up. But if anyone would like to play a round of the Rotten Tomatoes game,
I have no idea what it is, but
Oh,
No.
okay. Well, I mean, and just one little quick, because we are a very dark show. We talk about dark things. You might want to congratulate me and Harriet, because we do have a kind of a spooky celebrity death pool going on. And yes, we know that that's wrong, and we don't give a shit. It's fun. So she won it with Joe Turkel, who I think that was kind of low hanging
She
fruit
won.
personally, considering he's like 3,000 years old.
He was
That was
96.
sad though. He was Lloyd in The Shining.
I know.
And
He
when
was a
and he
great
was
guest too.
he had like a full bar set
He really was
and,
awesome. Yeah. And
you
he was
know-
also in Blade Runner, for those of you that are Blade Runner fans. I mean, he was in Blade Runner.
Yeah, he was really, really cool. And then, I got an autograph for a friend of mine who lives in New York, and he's the one who I found out that he passed, because I was scrolling Facebook and he showed the autograph that I had gotten him, and it said "Rest in peace, Joe Turkel." I was like, "Oh no, not Lloyd!" But
you're like, no, but I won.
yeah, right. I was like,
I have points.
Right.
All right. So technically, I mean, he was the oldest guest that's ever been at Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's a nice little trivia for you. Oldest guest that's ever been at Spooky, Joe Turkel.
So yeah,
But,
Harriet made it, or she's first on the board with Joe Turkel. Demi just after with Tony Sirico.
Polly Walnuts.
So
Yep. And I'm a big Sopranos fan.
So Harriet got some bonus points because she did pick a spooky guest.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony Sirico gets a -1 point because he was not a horror guest. But yeah, so anyway, you guys are very close. And those were the first, people to make our death pool board this year. It's, nothing was going on.
It's
Boom,
taken long
boom.
enough.
So, anyway,
We're not
congratulations
wishing.
to
We're
our
not
host.
wishing death so they, we get points. It's
No.
No, that actually takes you out of the game.
just to clarify.
Yeah, no, and that's part of the whole thing. If you look at any death pool, if you cause or wish the death of celebrity, then yeah, you're out of the game.
We also refrain if you actually kill any of the guests who are on.
Yeah, we kind of frown on that.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
But no, we don't wish death on anybody, but it's like, hey, if it gets us extra points and a fun game that keeps us distracted from the dumpster fire that's going on in the world.
You guys have had this going for a while, right? It's been a few years.
What's that?
You guys have had this game for a while.
We've been doing various incarnations for a while. CJ, were you saying something?
For just a year, for a little over a year now.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, are hexes and curses okay?
Yes, so long as we don't know you're doing them.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, just basically we no habla, no. So yeah, as long as you don't know, yeah.
Real quick, let me go over the rules of the Rotten Tomato game.
Yeah, I want to hear this. Okay.
So the way it works is, if you're not familiar, there is a website called RottenTomatoes.com. And they're kind of a score aggregator for movie reviews, but they work a little bit differently, and most people aren't really aware of how Rotten Tomatoes really works. The scores they give are really not necessarily, if a movie scores 90, that doesn't mean it's necessarily a great movie. It just means that 90% of the critics said, yeah, it's good. Doesn't mean it's great. And a movie that scores, 0 is not necessarily the worst movie in the world. Probably is the worst movie in the world. It just means the majority of people say this is not good. So that's really the scale you look at. This is a movie that most people in the room will enjoy. This is a movie that most people in the room will not enjoy. And then the 50 is just kind of some people like it, some people don't. It's not necessarily indicative of the movie's actual quality. And the example I like to give is Dave, starring Kevin Kline, the comedy where he looks like the president. The president has a heart attack, and so now the president impersonator, has to be president. It's a good movie. It's nothing special, but it's very unoffensive, and it has like a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah, so it just means everyone generally says, I am unoffended and enjoy this.
Okay.
So with that in mind, I have a couple movies, and today's theme is the guest announcements that have been made.
Well, I was gonna say which movies, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so, well, no, not which movies this time.
Oh,
You know what? Because we did which movies when Bora was on a few,
and there are more than just a few which movies. Thank you very much.
I'm aware, but this is the direction we went. So All right, so we are going to start, and for anyone, basically, I'm going to give you the movie. You give me what score you think it got, and again, it's not necessarily
which movies.
the grade, it's just the favorability of it. I hope that makes sense. And again, people in the chat, please feel free to play along, but don't cheat. So,
No
all right,
Googling.
here we go.
I still say which movies, damn it.
Okay, well,
Next time.
there's arguably there's at least one witch in this, if not two. Okay, first movie. Because this is a Twin Peaks themed year, we'll do the Twin Peaks movie, the prequel to the whole thing, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. What do you think this scored on Rotten Tomatoes?
I have
65.
52.
65, 62. Okay.
Oh, 50, I said 52, but okay.
49.
40,
I'll go 70.
70.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if anyone in the chat. Let's see. Craig just said 72. Justin's 45. Matt is 72.
Because if I remember right, it wasn't very well received, if I remember right.
Well, you know, it's one of the interesting things about Rotten Tomatoes is,
No, but I mean, even after the fact, it didn't become.
but the scores can change as some older movies kind of get looked at again, and they get, you know, up in favorability, you know, up good reviews. The scores sometimes change, or they also go, you know, in reverse. But we have a winner for this one, Harriet. Congratulations. Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is fresh at 64%.
All right.
Okay.
Get it, girl.
All right. Next
What
on
do
the
I
list,
win?
because we have
Big
Christina
wiener.
Ricci as a guest. This is the low-hanging fruit as far as Christina Ricci goes, but it's a favorite amongst all of us. The Addams Family,
As opposed to Addams Family Values.
which
Okay.
we've actually done on this show before.
Okay. I was like, yeah, because you have to differentiate. There are two very different movies. 83.
I was gonna say 80. I'll say 80.
Yeah, I was gonna say 80, but I'll come down and I'll say 75.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that area too. Probably say 78.
All right, let's go to the chat. Laura, what did you say again?
80.
80.
Straight 80.
And Demi, what'd you say?
What did I say? I forget. 85?
80,
83.
83?
Yeah.
83, 85, 83. Okay, fine. 83.
All right. I'm double checking this because I feel the need, but we're getting good
Feel the
scores.
need.
88. Justin said 60.
Oh, fuck you,
72 for
Justin.
Max. Well,
Fuck you
guess
if
what?
you're incorrect.
Justin's actually the closest.
Oh, fuck you, Justin.
No, fuck you, everyone else. Like, how?
The Addams Family is only fresh at 65%.
No.
What?
Wow.
All
I
right.
think the original, I don't think the original was received well. I don't think people quite got it. I think they were expecting the Addams Family from Scooby-Doo or something.
Well, then that's just wrong.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
I demand a recount.
Yeah, but Harriet is running away with it so far. Okay, that's,
What does
you know
she
what?
what does she get? Like,
Bragging rights.
I get a big wiener. A big,
I support
Big-
it.
She
big
gets a
sparkly
bloody gorge.
Thick, oily.
Spark-
support
glittery
it.
wiener.
That's what I was thinking, like a confetti wiener.
Yeah, glitter
That's probably
wieners.
more accurate. All right.
Yeah.
For Danny Lloyd, well, that's a duh. The Shining. What do we think The Shining scored?
98%. That's right. I'm just sticking with it.
77.
64.
Oh,
I mean, if they're gonna screw the Addams Family over, I'm just saying.
those mundanes don't get it.
I really don't.
I'm going to say this is the original Shining because
Yeah,
I
the
know there's
Kubrick
been a
film.
couple of
Clarification, yes.
yeah. So if it's the original one, I'm say 89 somewhere in there.
Okay. And the chat is saying,
I already forgot what I said. 60.
Welcome to my world.
I'll just say the chat's not close. CJ, you've got this one.
Woohoo!
The Shining is fresh at 84%.
Wow.
Okay, I was way off.
Very nice.
Screw you, CJ.
All right, for Ray Wise, we've mentioned this movie a couple times tonight. Jeepers Creepers 2.
Wasn't bad.
My old roommate was a body in that movie.
Nice. That's kind of awesome.
That was a claim to fame for him. I think
like
it was
I
a
said,
body of a tree or something. I don't remember the whole story.
if you're on set, you're good.
Exactly. No, absolutely. If here's the thing, it's like, and we joke about this all the time. Harriet and I talk about it all the time. The bicycle girl zombie Walking Dead, she made
Walking
a
Dead.
whole career out of that. So
Yeah.
she didn't even have a name, so doesn't even matter.
Jeepers Creepers 2. Let's get some scores. Come on.
62.
40.
40 for Harriet,
62.
32.
32 for Laura.
55 for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 62. I know I'm being generous.
All right, well, let's see. Laura gets it. Jeepers
Yay.
Creepers is rotten at 24%.
Oh,
All right.
oh.
I was just thinking of-
bad.
Yeah, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is tough.
Yeah. No, I get it.
All right, next,
I do want to
because
see
we
it.
talked about it again, don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Oh,
Good
That
Lord.
movie- Thor. Dishes are done, dude.
Right.
I've obviously seen it more than once.
65.
41.
47.
52.
All right, let me see what the chat is saying. Yeah, the chat is acknowledging this is not good.
What do you
Got
think?
scores of 10, 21, 28.
Oh,
And nice.
Well,
Poor
Dementia gets this one. This Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is rotten at 36%.
Wow.
Still better than Jeepers Creepers 2.
that's actually what I meant to say. 36.
All right, well,
In a
then we
row?
will wrap this up. The last one, it's the movie that made Jesse Spano more than just Jesse Spano. It's Kyle MacLachlan's classic, Showgirls.
Okay.
Gina Gershon. I mean, that was good.
Yeah, was he? Okay. Yeah, Gina Gershon.
10.
We got a 10 from CJ. Let's see, we've
Showgirls.
already got 1-0 in the chat.
Oh wow.
13.
25.
Yeah, I'm 28.
All right, let me just get some other chat scores. We've got 22 from Ashley. Well, if Ashley was on the panel, she'd win. But Laura, congratulations.
Woohoo!
Rotten Tomatoes ranks Showgirls at 23% rotten.
Wow.
Good.
Still pretty
Okay.
rotten.
So we've got a tie,
lying.
Harriet.
They're
Laura,
lying. It's 10.
congratulations.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. Man, after fucking over Adam's Family and Jeepers Creepers 2, fuck you, Rotten Tomatoes.
I want to see Jeepers Creepers 2 now, though.
It's on Prime.
I don't
Okay.
think it's terrible. It's not. I mean,
No, it's not bad. I mean, as far as sequels go, it's not bad.
It's a
Yeah.
perfectly acceptable horror movie.
Yes.
Watch.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. CJ, thank you again for joining us tonight and explaining the very awesome Central Florida Witches Ball,
Yeah,
which
that
I think
I'm
we're
so
all
excited.
looking forward to.
We
If
are
I wasn't
excited
excited more, then I'm definitely. Yeah.
for having me on. I really appreciate it. We had a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
this was great.
That's what we like to hear.
All right, just
All right,
tell
and
the people one more time where they can find information about the Central Florida Witches Ball.
Yeah, so you can go to cflwitchesball.com, or you can also check us out on Facebook, which is Central Florida Witches Ball, or CFL Witches Ball on Instagram and TikTok.
Awesome. Well,
All right. Well,
that about wraps it
again,
up.
we will have a post shortly with all the instructions on how to play the game. But again, everybody who's in the chat right now, you're being logged. You guys already have the edge. You got the point. Congratulations for edging the competition.
Never mind. Anyway, sorry.
Oh.
I just point nothing.
You
And
edged
hi.
them well. It'll be a messy contest, but you're good.
Okay. Well, yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And basically what we say is fuck off.
Yeah, fuck you.
We love you. Fuck you.
Oh.
And